Settle in now. Let your breathing slow in its own time. Let the room around you become quiet. Let the day drift farther away, like heat leaving desert stone after sunset. Tonight, you travel to a small observatory in the desert, where the sky is wide, the air is clear, and every sound has plenty of space around it. The story begins near evening. The sun has already lowered behind distant hills, leaving the desert in soft colors: pale gold, rose, gray, and blue. The road ahead is quiet. It runs through open land where low shrubs grow far apart and stones hold the last warmth of the day. You are not driving quickly. You are not trying to arrive before anything closes. The observatory is expecting no crowd. It is only a small white building on a hill with a round dome, a few warm windows, and a path lined with low lamps. When you arrive, the air is cooler than you expected. The desert changes gently after sunset. What was bright becomes soft. What was hot becomes calm. What seemed empty becomes full of small details: the shape of a stone, the dry scent of sage, the far call of a night bird, the first star appearing above the hill. You step out onto the path. Gravel shifts quietly beneath your feet. The lamps along the path are low and amber, just bright enough to guide you without taking away the dark. Each one makes a little circle of light on the ground. You walk from one circle to the next. The observatory waits at the top of the hill. It is simple and peaceful. White walls, a wooden door, a curved metal dome turned toward the rising night. Beside the building is a bench, and beside the bench is a small table holding a pitcher of water and 2 glasses. You sit for a moment before going inside. The desert stretches in every direction. There are no tall trees here, no crowded streets, no rooftops close together. Only open land, low hills, and a sky growing deeper by the minute. You breathe in. The air is dry and cool. You breathe out. The day feels smaller. Not because it did not matter, only because the sky is very large. The door of the observatory opens. A caretaker steps out and welcomes you with a quiet nod. He carries a small red lamp, so the light will not disturb the night. He tells you that the sky is clear and that there is no need to hurry. The stars will not leave. This is a comforting thing to hear. The stars will not leave. You follow him inside. The observatory smells faintly of dust, metal, paper, and cool stone. There is a round room with a telescope at the center, a few shelves of star charts, and a table where notebooks are stacked neatly beside pencils. The dome above is partially open. Through the narrow gap, you see a slice of darkening sky. The telescope is pointed upward, but it seems restful rather than impressive. It is not here to overwhelm you with facts. Tonight, it is simply a quiet instrument for looking gently at light that has traveled a very long way. The caretaker adjusts a few things. He speaks softly. He tells you that sometimes people come here expecting the sky to answer them. But the sky does not answer in words. It only gives space. And often, space is enough. You stand beside the telescope and look through. At first, you see darkness, then a point of light, then another, a cluster, delicate and bright, like scattered salt on black cloth. You do not need to know its name. You do not need to remember any numbers. It is enough to see that something can be small and bright and very far away, and still arrive here, quietly, at your eye. You step back. The caretaker smiles and leaves you alone in the round room for a while. You walk to the shelves. There are star charts rolled in tubes, notebooks from past visitors, and a little book bound in blue cloth. You open the blue book and find that it is not full of astronomy notes. It is full of sentences people wrote after looking at the sky. I felt less crowded inside. The silence was larger than my worry. I remembered that night can be beautiful. I did not need an answer. You read those lines slowly. Then you close the book. Beside the shelf is a narrow doorway leading to a chart room. The caretaker has left the door open, and a small red lamp glows inside. You step through and find a room even quieter than the first. Flat drawers line one wall. Rolled charts rest in wooden slots. There is a large table in the center, covered with a dark cloth, and on the cloth is a map of the night sky, printed in pale lines. You do not need to understand it. The map is beautiful without needing to be solved. Curved lines, small dots, names written in careful letters, circles that mark places where someone, at some point, looked up and wanted to remember what they saw. You rest one hand near the edge of the table. The paper does not move. The red lamp makes everything gentle. A pencil lies beside the map, but you do not use it. Tonight is not for marking, measuring, or making sense of the whole sky. Tonight is for noticing that the sky can be larger than your need to understand it. On the far wall, there is a window. Through it, you can see the desert below the hill. The last color has drained from the land, leaving only shape. The low ridge, the path, the darker patch of shrubs, the pale line of the road. You stand there for a while. The desert is not asking to be named either. It is enough as shape, enough as quiet, enough as space. You return to the main room. The room is very quiet. The telescope rests. The dome opens to more stars now. Outside, the desert has become dark blue. The caretaker returns once more, not to hurry you, but to invite you to the small viewing terrace before you go to your room. The terrace is behind the observatory, sheltered from the path lights by a low stone wall. There are 2 chairs there, both angled toward the open desert. You sit in one. The stone wall still holds a little warmth from the sun. The chair is plain, but comfortable. Above you, the stars are brighter now. The caretaker points out only one thing: a pale band of light stretching across the sky. He does not give a lecture. He only says that on clear nights, it is good to remember how much of the universe is quiet. Then he leaves you there. You sit alone on the terrace. The silence is very large, but it is not empty. There is the faint click of cooling stone, the far movement of wind along the ground, the soft pulse of your own breathing. The sky above is full of old light, and still, nothing about it demands that you be impressive. The stars do not need you to achieve anything tonight. The desert does not need you to explain yourself. The observatory does not need you to understand every chart in its drawers. You can simply sit. That is enough. You step back through the door and return to the bench. The pitcher of water is still there. You pour a glass. The water is cool. It tastes clean and simple. Above you, the sky has deepened. More stars are appearing, Not suddenly, but patiently, as if each one waits for your eyes to become ready. You lean back and look up. There is so much room. Room between the stars, room between thoughts, room between one breath and the next. You let the room enter you, not as an idea, only as a feeling. The feeling that nothing inside you needs to be pressed so tightly together. The thought about tomorrow can move farther away. The memory of the day can take one step back. The question with no answer can rest in the dark without needing to be solved. The desert does not crowd anything. The sky does not rush anything. So you do not rush yourself. After a while, the caretaker returns and asks if you would like to see the guest room. There is a small room beside the observatory for visitors who stay overnight. It is simple, he says, but the window faces east, and in the morning, the first light comes softly across the desert floor. You follow him along a short path to a second building made of pale stone. Inside is a room with a narrow bed, a woven rug, a wooden chair, a small lamp, and a window without curtains. There is no need for curtains here. There are no houses nearby, no street lights, no one looking in, only the desert and the sky. The caretaker leaves a glass of water on the table and says goodnight. The door closes. You stand in the room, listening. At first, the quiet seems complete. Then you begin to hear small sounds, a faint movement of air against the window, a tiny settling sound in the wooden chair, something outside moving through dry grass, then gone. The desert is not empty, it is simply spacious. You sit on the edge of the bed and remove your shoes. The rug is soft beneath your feet. The lamp casts a warm circle on the wall. On the table is a small card with a sentence printed on it. Let the night be large enough. You read it once, then again. Let the night be large enough. Large enough for the unfinished things. Large enough for the uncertain things. Large enough for all the thoughts that feel too close when the room is bright and the day is loud. The night is large enough. You walk to the window. The observatory dome is visible on the hill, pale under the stars. Its open slit points toward the sky. The low path lamps glow faintly, almost like stars that have come down to the ground. On the sill beneath the window is a small stone from the desert, smooth on one side and rough on the other. You pick it up and feel both textures beneath your thumb. Smooth, rough, both belonging to the same stone. You think of the day in the same way. Some parts smooth, some parts rough. All of it now resting in your hand, no longer needing to be argued with. You set the stone back on the sill. Outside, the observatory remains quiet on the hill. You turn off the lamp. The room becomes dark, but not black. Starlight enters through the window. It is not enough to see everything clearly. It is enough to soften the outlines. You lie down. The sheet is cool. The blanket is light, but warm. The pillow holds your head gently. From the bed, you can see a wide piece of sky through the window. You do not need to count the stars. You do not need to name them. You can let them be points of quiet attention, appearing and disappearing as your eyes grow heavy. Breathing in cool desert night. Breathing out the day releasing. Breathing in space. Breathing out stillness. You imagine your thoughts as small stones warmed by the sun. One by one, they release their heat into the night. No effort, no hurry, only cooling, only softening, only becoming part of the quiet desert floor. The observatory rests on the hill. The telescope rests beneath the open dome. The star charts rest on their shelves. The caretaker has gone to bed. The path lamps glow low and steady. Everything in this place knows how to be still. And now you can be still too. You let the story become simple. A desert, a hill, an observatory, a window, a bed, stars. The sky is large, the night is kind, the room is quiet. You are allowed to rest without answers. You are allowed to sleep under questions that do not to be solved before morning. Outside, the stars continue shining with patient light. Inside, your breathing moves slower. The desert holds the silence. The observatory holds the sky. The night holds everything else. Good night.